One of Nolan Well's friends, Warren, did an interview recently where he spoke about the backlash they've been getting since Nolan Well's death and all the allegations. Now, to me, this interview did them no favors, to be honest, because first off, the person they chose to do the interview with is like one of the most despicable, worst human beings probably on planet Earth, which obviously is hyperbole, but he's not too far off. Like, this dude is terrible. Brandon Tatum is not the person you want to do an interview with if you want for us to receive this interview with fair lenses. And if you're really close friends with Nolan and you want the world to believe that, you probably shouldn't do an interview with a man who has spent the last couple of weeks disrespecting Nolan's mom, calling her a grifter, a race hustler, all type of names. You probably don't want to do an interview with that man. Now, Officer Tatum oversold his interview drastically, bruh. Before the interview dropped, he was doing promo runs for the interview, talking about how this interview debunks everything and this interview solves the Nolan Wells mystery and this interview is what people need to watch to hear the truth. So he oversold this and then dramatically and drastically underdelivered.
I gotta say something real quick. Benjamin Crump should be ashamed of himself. Al Sharpton should be ashamed of themselves. I'm right here in Mississippi. It's crazy that I had to fly down here to even get this information. They've been lying on these boys. I got evidence, and I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to lay it out for you. It is a shame that boy Nolan did not get the respect that he deserved. In my opinion, they turned his death into a racial thing, destroying the community. You name it, they did it. And we got evidence that it wasn't just 4 boys with him. We got evidence that they asked Nolan to get back on the boat, and he refused to because he grown. We got evidence that the boys reached out to the parents, that Benjamin Crump and them didn't refuse to reach out to these boys. And I've talked to them. I've seen the evidence with my own eyes. I've seen that there was more than just 4 people. There was 3 boats full of kids. I know that they left and they had nothing to do with this. And instead of them saying and standing up for these boys and saying, look, we don't know what happened. We want justice for Nolan. These boys didn't have no involvement. Instead, they want to make it about race. And it is a shame. And I'm so heated, man. I went out to Horn Island. We got all the video. We got the interviews. The boys wanted to talk to me because I'm the only one there to give them a voice because everybody else is fake, fraudulent, looking out for themselves. And it's a shame, man.
Get over yourself, bruh. You think that you were the only person willing to interview these boys? Man, clearly not. They could have contacted any media outlet on planet Earth. They could have contacted Fox News. They could have contacted TMZ. They could have contacted anybody on planet Earth and they would have interviewed them. They picked you because you are a black guy. It's really that simple, bruh. Right? You are a black guy that's willing to tap dance and shuck and jive and do what you got to do, right, to cater to the dominant society. That's why they picked you. They didn't pick you because you were the only one willing to interview them, because that's absurd. They picked you because you are willing to do what you need to do, which is tap dance. It's really that simple. You are a black man who can tap dance. Facts. Now, the interview that he promised is not the interview we got, like, at all. Like, not one bit, bruh. Nothing about this interview is revolutionary. Nothing about this interview is breaking news. So first off, during the interview, the first thing I spotted was the kid Warren, who's the son of the judge, by the way. He starts to say, Nolan Wells is his best friend. That him and Nolan Wells been friends since middle school, up to college, and Nolan Wells is his best friend. And then the follow-up question will be a follow-up question that damn near any best friend will be able to answer, and this dude just fumbled it.
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. We talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. There's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together. Mm-hmm. Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan, a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But
Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. First off, he never asked if you went to Nolan's house. Now, you not going to his house and you've been his best friend since 8th grade. Like, that's weird. He asked, have you ever met his mom? You said you and Nolan Wells have been best friends since middle school. Middle school is 7th grade for some and then 6th grade for others. So let's just say since the 6th grade, right? Because middle school starts at 6th grade for some people. So you've been his friend since 6th grade. And you mean to tell me you never met his mom? How does that make sense? So his middle school graduation, you never met his mom at the middle school graduation? Oh, okay, like that's weird. All right. You never met his mom at one of his football games that you attended because you're his best friend? All right, that's weird. His mom never dropped him off at your crib? All right, that's weird. You never went to go celebrate his birthday and his mom was there? So Nolan never had a birthday party ever in life. So Nolan's never had no celebration ever in life that you was there to attend. All right, man. That's weird. Nolan, mom never dropped her off to, I don't know, man, you know, to like the fair or something. So y'all been best friends since middle school, as early as maybe 6th grade, and you have not had an interaction with his mom ever? But that's your best friend, man. All right, man. Yo, listen, yo, when you started off like this, bruh, when you started off with this nonsense, what that tells me, it tells me particularly, yeah, you just talking. Like, you just yapping. Or you're trying to make y'all seem a tad bit closer than you guys actually are to, you know, to kind of say, hey, man, yo, that's my best friend, man. Why would I do such a thing? The funny part about it is the family ain't saying you did a goddamn thing. All they're saying is, yo, we just want an independent investigation. We just want to figure out what happened. Right? Now, yo, Brandon Tatum says that this interview had undoubtable evidence that Nolan Wells drowned and that these kids are innocent. But the evidence he provided is absolutely nothing. It's just, he said, she said. It's the same nonsense. For example, bro provided a footage of Nolan Wells' friends and Nolan, I guess, hopping on the boat and going to Horn Island together. And he's presenting this footage as exclusive footage that proves the truth. And I'm sitting there like, huh, yo, this dummy, what? Yeah, we know that Nolan went to the Horn Island with them together. Yeah, that's the whole point. What are you talking about? Like, how does this footage prove anything?
Getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats. And some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're gonna see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, you know, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys.
Huh? Is this man slow? Yo, before I go in, can anybody confirm whether or not Officer Tatum has an intellectual disability? Because if he does, like, I don't want to go like too crazy on him, bruh. Right? What? Who? This here debunks that he was only with the 4 friends on the boat. What? When was this ever a thing? When was this? No, the thing is, he was on a boat with friends. And we only got 4 names because those are the 4 names that apparently was at the house when the parents went to go pick up the phone. That's why we got the 4 names. And then there's pictures that surfaced of them together on the island. But the narrative has always been, he was on a boat with friends. He was on the boat with friends. He went to the island with friends. And he came, and those friends he went with, they said that he told them that he was gonna catch a ride and he was gonna talk to Katie. Katie says, I didn't hear that. No, he told me he was leaving to go with his friends. He went to the island with friends, and those friends came back with his phone, and he was not present. That's what we're talking about here, Tatum. How many friends was on the boat does not matter at all. It does not mean a goddamn thing. And whether there was 3 boats or 4 boats or 1, means nothing. Nolan was on one boat. And that boat had his phone. That boat had all his belongings. And apparently when these friends told him, hey, bro, we leaving, he says, okay, you can leave. And they went and took his phone with them. He came with a group of friends. The group of friends came back safe, and Nolan Walsh was found dead. That's what we're talking about. What does any of this prove? You think a debunking is proving, oh, by the way, you guys didn't know there's actually more co-conspirators. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, thank you. Our bad. Instead of 4 suspects, we now got 8. Well, thank you, Tatum. Like, what are you talking about here, man? This right here, man. This is one of the nastiest things I've ever witnessed in life. Now, the friend told Tatum exactly why Nolan Walsh was left behind. And here's what he had to say. Now, mind you, this interaction you're about to hear, the girl Katie completely debunks it and contradicts it. Katie came out and says, no, Nolan told me he was going with his friends. They're saying they had an entire conversation with Nolan in front of Katie that Katie does not recall.
Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked, this is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said,
how many people heard that? Were there just
at least
just a
5 to, everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. We had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else.
The only problem with this is you are claiming an entire conversation that was that notable, because you're claiming, y'all was screaming, it was urgent. Yo, Nolan, we about to leave. Yo, Nolan, come. And you claim this entire conversation happened in front of Katie. You saying Katie can attest for this. Katie told Nolan's family. Katie told investigators. She don't know what you're talking about. Katie told Nolan's family, again, and we've been through this already, that she was with Nolan. And Nolan told her that he was leaving abruptly, that he had to leave abruptly because he had to go with his friends. You claiming you had this entire conversation in front of Katie, and Nolan said he was going to stay with Katie, but then Katie says that's not what happened. No, we were talking and abruptly he had to leave. If you had this entire conversation in front of Katie and Katie was there, wouldn't Katie be able to say, oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, they did say they were leaving and Nolan chose to stay with me. But that's not what happened though. Katie don't recall this conversation. And you said we should ask Katie. So this right here is either you just got caught in a lie in 4K or Katie got caught in a lie in 4K. Well, we're going to be reviewing this entire interview, all three parts on my live stream tomorrow, okay? So if you got some free time, tap into the live stream tomorrow where we're going to do a full dissection of each and every part of this interview. It's 3 parts. We're going to dissect every part. So tap in tomorrow for our live stream, okay? But if you're watching this video and you enjoy this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here on my screen, where I do a deep dive into YG and the B team members that conspired to murder Draco the Ruler. I'm gonna see you guys in this YG and the B team members video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.